We are true connections here at IHP, 5D relationships, and the authentic self. So it's when you get a hold of your human beingness, humanity, and you're working with your inner child and you bring it to the forefront. So that's with personal development, self help. If you're 5D mystic, welcome aboard. If you're a 5D functional adult, in either or, 5D is that lovely Christ consciousness, oneness consciousness, integration of the brain. So true connections. True connections are when we get to feel felt, when we get to feel seen, and when we are healthy self worth. It's straightforward. Okay, so on that note, I was actually thinking this song, Johnny Cash one. I don't know if he knows about Daniel Siegel and integration of the brain, or Bezel van der Kolk, or Peter Levine, or Stephen Porges, all the attachment trauma therapists that I learned from and that I have been and will continue to learn from. But on that note, I can share your host here is Woo Woo Pseudoscience Lady. I bring human, spiritual, and spirituality elements together, and that's in the effort to help you to be you and me to be me. And when you have forgiveness and love, Jesus, thank you, and God, humble, and the essence of life and love is what I call God at times, or Akash, use different ways so that I can disengage from those who are not desiring a collective that is diverse. Okay, so we also have our polyamory community. Come on over. Secure attachment individuals are not masochists, and the embodiment of what we are is obviously individual. And so, again, I hear a lot of different opinions when it comes to people's chosen lifestyle with love and relationships, forgiveness and relationships. And the mantles is what come to mind, because they're the ones who talk as if they're still the very same teenagers that I did meet, adolescents as well. 12 to 24 is the adolescent brain, because your brain continues to develop. In fact, executive decision making function areas of the brain completely develop for the physical woman, biologically 25, physical biologically man 27. And therefore, it makes sense that that's 12 to 24, the adolescent. So your social system comes online. Okay, so this Johnny Cash, have you come here for forgiveness? Have you come to raise the dead, play Jesus, lepers in your head? I don't know what the song is about exactly, but the one part makes me think of how we're one species and how true connection is about this. It's about us being able to know that we're one, but not the same. It's called differentiation of the self, as Daniel Siegel has presented. So, what's a true connection? Is when somebody says, wow, Maria is a person who I accept with all of what she is. They also don't tease, for example, Akashic record readings, past life regressions. They don't tease about tarot card. They don't tease. And when I say tease, not we all make fun of each other with those quirky traits we have. That's true connection too. I'm saying they don't mock it in a way of the specific energy. When I perceive it, I know it, and I leave it alone, because as an emotionally, mentally grown human being, your emotions and thoughts are not truths. This is not something I needed explained, but we recently have read a quote and more from, again, brain experts, neuroscientists, trauma experts. There's just so many of them. And spirituality, true spirituality, is a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. Okay, so for people who own their brain, that means you know your thoughts and emotions are yours, which is what we get to do here. So you don't say, I don't want to do personal development. I can't do it. No, you say, I can do it. Okay, now you don't have fear of being inadequate in here. You don't have this rejection, abandonment, injustice, betrayal, or humiliation, wounds, or trauma, trust breaks. These are very important. If you have anything where I'm defective, there's shame. If there's I have a right to tell somebody else whatever they should do, there's our shame again, because if you're pointing out there, you have not yet completely accepted with unconditional love. You have flaws and imperfections. That doesn't mean you project them. No, you have a herd. That's what true connections are. We are heard and we support each other. So you heard a story either today or yesterday, and there's plenty of stories that will come, but this is the part of where, when you know every person is an infinite possibility, which is why the feminine, a true feminine, will not in any way, shape, or form claim to know the truth of where a masculine or anyone else but masculine will go. Why? So from this rabbi, I learned about feminine energy, and it's a little bit different than what I hear from my mystics. Okay, so bear with me, and I'm horrible with remembering data. So I also wanted to share these because, see, this is what a true connection is. It's playful, and we're always like this. And that means we talk. There's no lows because we talk about our emotions, because we vulnerably talk. And here's where you find out from therapists that grown human beings go to them and still don't want to talk vulnerably. That doesn't happen in this 5D body here because I'm an integrated brain. I'm a default mode network that's downregulated. Maria's Maria. You don't like it, you don't have to. I can cry about you not liking me, and I can get excited about being able to be liked. And then I can also get neutral about a lot of things. And when I'm around, for example, those who are not 100% my vibe at all, and they mock me, and I leave it alone. Why? Because I don't care. I'm having fun. You're still a true connection to me. I'm lovingly, acceptingly, and playfully enjoying myself. I don't need to do your brain. It's your brain, not mine. So the feminine, this is the part of where we all have also, by the way, the right mode. The right mode of your brain is where all that comes in here. So mine's contained and happy, happy, happy because I'm a securely attached 0 1 year old, 3 year old, all of it. And I'm not my teenager rigid. No, I got to my adolescent with the actual essence of an adolescent, which is, I just had this from Daniel. He's great at sharing what the essence of an adolescent is. And I will share that. Emotional spark, social engagement, novelty, and the creative exploration. Okay, and I have all that. So does any 5D person, which is why we enjoy all of our relationships. And true connections is what we're always building because we're not going to come in and say, you need to be the way I want you to be. No. So here's where this rabbi, I forget his name, but he talks about how the feminine energy is typically that which will restrict and create, have the masculine that has infinite potential and wants to keep expanding to be contained so that it may become practical, something along those lines. But he also shares this other thing that women, he's using women and men, but he's talking about the energies, that the feminine will find it painful to start something new. I find that inaccurate, but I have a masculine. I have my divine feminine, divine masculine. So see, I don't find it painful to start anything new. Actually, what is painful is to see those who are masculines who do not know, because see, he says that's why men are having an issue with commitment, gender stereotype right there. So masculine energies, they don't commit, if I need to break it down from a 5D mystic's perspective, because they don't get a hold of their own inner child. So they're continuing to live a life of shame, blame, fault, revenge on else's journey is how I'm going to put it, with Cusco, the squirrel, and you name it. They don't know healthy boundaries. They don't know emotion. They don't know badass if they wanted to. And as I got older, I realized this because I got to realize that adolescents didn't grow up. And then I got attachment trauma informed. So today I can bring you an entire equation that is a very better way to share with you what I witnessed as a mid 20 to 30-year-old woman. And I found it hilarious. I was going out to have a good time, and all these people were desperately seeming, in fact, to me, like they hadn't aged and doing this drama, king, queen, they stuff. I don't know these personally. Okay, so that's not a true connection. And then I get the download from Daniel about, people fearing of being inadequate. So as long as you don't say I'm adequate, well, there you go. That's not going to build a true connection here and then externally. But remember that trauma is relational. So the first place you grow intimate is here. If you love yourself first, as all of you, you get to the bottom of your 0 1 year old. So it's a very specific one. You're going to feel alive inside, not bummed out about life. And all personality disorders are healable. Trauma as well. When they reclaim any person, their inner child, and start to master those thoughts and emotions. Okay, so the man committing, I found it, just with those stereotypes. And I'm going to say it's because your left mode and your right are not working together. And so you don't get into expansion. You get into what teenagers do. I know everything and I'm right, but you're still spiting the adult who didn't keep you in a child-centric environment, because you are, if you're happy, that means that you're going to enjoy all people. You're going to enjoy novelty. And there are those of us who are here. So again, adolescent with an adult, it's you being able to know we're all flawed and perfect, and that true connections are built with the capacity for us to support each other, to tap into that inner child adult that is in every one of us. But that's only if we are playful, and if we tell each other the truth, and if we accept each other for who we are, and if we remove those societal, political, religious, any of those opinions, judgments, call them what you want. The part is here. So again, when somebody is thinking while they're engaging, if they're closing their heart, I'm going to notice it, because I'm a right mode with a left mode that is looking in the absence of low self-esteem. I'm not thinking that I need your approval. I'm not looking at how your facial expression is. And if I'm wondering about it, I'll say, hey, you good? Because I'm trying to move from presence and I'm attuning to resonance. So I'm going to say, is all good? And then trust. And with part, thank you, Daniel Siegel, I get to keep on expanding with you. So true connection is when you feel felt by each other. And this doesn't have to be romantic. In fact, some of the most beautiful expanding relationships are those where you are appreciated, because the focus attention is with complete awareness, certainty and uncertainty with kind intention, because the member of your herd saying, wow, I'm getting to meet another member of my herd. That's it. I'm not going to say I don't believe in love. I do believe in love. I'm afraid of love. Whatever it is, I don't believe in this person. I do believe in none of it. So you don't create hypotheticals. You don't try to read people's minds. You don't do any of that when you're done with the visitation with the person. If you want to say something, you always say it to the face, and not because you're trying to tell someone. Okay, so this is that area where you'll notice emotionally mature people, they share life because they know, the brain knows the difference between a need and a want. And there's also difference between a relationship and a relationship where you're feeling felt and you're seeing that you're being seen, and you're seeing a person walk a walk and talk a talk. And so you expand more and more together. It's because of open heartedness. And when people trust each other, they're building true connections. When people are creating stories with a teenage brain, they're not. So any mantle, you'll be able to notice who they are because you'll feel it here. You'll reorganize. And really what it is they're going to tell you who you are. They're going to tell you why you are what you are. They're going to begin with a whole bunch of lists. So on that note, as we close on out, the essence of that lovely adolescent that everyone can have, it's not a teenager in the very sense of it. It's a very mature spark of life. It's the energy of you and I from our 0, 1 to 3 to 16. But as you mature and integrate that brain, so integration of the brain has compassion and kindness come forth because your secure attachment nervous system is on. And so you're in a biochemistry of love, not of fear, because you're like, hey, I'm me. Cool. I'm a feminine. I'm a masculine. I'm present. I'm aware. I'm accepting. I'm loving. I'm curious. I don't need to make up some stuff. I don't need no boxing gloves because we're not living a movie. And so when you're building intimate relationships, first with yourself, but also with others, if you have a doubt, you go talk to people, which is why the 4D with their clairs, they have completely taken it out of context. And I'm going to leave that again to the side. I've consistently known we pick up on stuff that's in a space, relational field, unconscious. Doesn't mean another person will know of it or not. And really it's, do we have the capacity to want to build snow people, mer people, build a home together? And you find that out in your interactions, which is also why we don't have no saga with any of our oversouls. A feminine will know I'm a choice point, you're a choice point. We're going to interact with each other in the best way that is possible to our personalities in the moment that we're interacting. And it's not personal because that's exactly what it's not. For an emotionally mature person who has a 0, 1-year-old who knows their authentic self, who's not inadequate to be who they are, quirky, whatever words, the words don't mean anything to an empowered woman, man, or they. A true connection is where we talk to each other in our faces with an open heart. And you'll know when that's happening because it's not an insulting thing. It's an actual feeling thing, and it's expanding. Your heart is freed more and more and more. You have fun together. You feel generous and protected. You feel supported always, not just sometimes, and that grows. And so we walk a walk and talk a talk together, and we share love, and we support those people who are healing their maladaptive child, their adaptive child, their addictions, they're getting out of all that stuff. Let's be here for those people too, because they need healthy self-worth, women, men, and theys who don't do the in-group, out-group with their little capes. That's not going to help these lovely individuals who have a harder time. Some of us have an easier time with emotions and thoughts. Some people have a harder time, and they need a good herd to say, okay, I'm going to call you out on that, but not with shame, not the shame tone, because that's what they already are still working to get out of. It's with the tone of, I care, and I'm not kidding. And so we're going to try again. We're partners in this thing called life. Let's have fun together. We can always get up. We don't have laundry here. It's a body. It's an embodied brain, and we regulate in our social engagement system together. Tune in for more. Like, share, subscribe. And remember, Ask Maria, paid subscription-based model content on the audio for now once you get to 1K on YouTube as well. And for the main modules of the Inner Growth Mindset, inspiringhumanpotential.com. Have a great one.